Welcome to my series on web application development. There are two types of websites. There is the static website and there is dynamic website. Static website is a website whose pages are developed using pure HTML and they don't change. The content remains static throughout. For dynamic websites, the content is created using scripting languages. We have front-end programming or front-end scripting, and we also have back-end scripting. So back-end scripting is also referred to as server-side programming. This series shall focus on back-end programming, server-side programming, and we shall use PHP language. To develop a PHP program, you shall require to have a server software like Apache, and you may also require to have a database server like MySQL. To install the server, you may need to download either WAMP server or XAMPP server. You may need to check if the computer you're using has been installed with either of those two servers, either a WAMP or a XAMPP server. To do that, you can go to your programs. You go to all applications and then you look for either a WAMP server or a XAMPP server. In my case, I have both. I have XAMPP. This is the XAMPP server. Okay. But I also have WAMP. But you need only one of them. You don't need two, you only need one, because you cannot run both of them at the same time. Okay? So if you don't have them on your computer, you can download them. You can simply open your browser and you just type WAMP server and you'll see places to download it from. So download it and install it in your computer, or you can use XAMPP. You can download it and install it on your computer. So some programmers prefer to use XAMPP, others prefer to use WAMP. So let me first look at a simple PHP code. So I've created one on my folder here, which I've named index.php. So let me open it and we look at the code. So as we had discussed in class, those who attended the physical class, a PHP is part of the HTML document. So you write your document with a HTML tags with a head and the body, and inside the body you put your PHP tag, where you start with the opening tag PHP with a question, that is a greater than sign, a question tag, and then the letters PHP. Then you put whatever you want to display here, and then you close. For now, just appreciate this to be the PHP, and then as we go deeper, we shall discuss more on these tags and the different aspects and syntax of PHP. Then you close the body and you close your document, and then after that, then you save it as a PHP file by going to Save As, and then you add a .php on your index. So I won't need to resave this because it's already saved as a PHP document. If you look at it here, then you see that it is a PHP file. So if you're using XAMPP server, then you need to go to where the server is. So you simply go to your drive C on your computer. So let me go there. I can open it in new window. I go to drive C and then I look for XAMPP. If you look at XAMPP, then you can look for this folder htdocs. Please write it down somewhere. htdocs. So htdocs is where your local host will be. So the address to get to this folder, this will be a local host. So you can create a folder with the name of the site that you want to have. For instance, let me call this Mike B, and then on the Mike B is where we are going to put this document here. So let me copy and paste it here. Copy and come and paste it here. So yes, we want to replace that which is there. So just come and put it here. So now, how do we open this PHP document now on our website or on our browser? So you can open any browser, and then you type localhost Mike B PHP, and once you run it, you can see that it displays the message you wanted it to display. However, for this to happen, then note that your XAMPP server needs to have been activated at the background, and this already had happened. If you look at my apps here, you can see my XAMPP is up and my WAMP is down. So I may need, if I switch it off, let me just click this XAMPP up. If I stop the service, the Apache service, if I stop it, the server is stopped. Then if I run this, you'll see that it will not be able to run. You can see it is not running because the server is not running. So how do we run the server? How do we make the server active? So if you click on this part here where you're able to see the icons of the services that are running, you'll find that maybe in your computer you may not find them. So the easiest thing is to go to your applications. You go to all applications where they are. So once you go to the applications, you go to where XAMPP is, look for XAMPP. You click it, XAMPP control panel. It opens like this, and then you can start the service you want. So you can start that. If you want to use the database, again you start. If you want whatever other server you want to start, you just start the service. After that, now you can run your code, but then the documents that you're using must be contained in the localhost, and you have said the localhost is actually within within the htdocs document folder of the XAMPP inside drive C. This is the most important aspect, that the document that you're working on has to be inside this htdocs for it to be able to run on the browser. So if you have to put anything on the server, then you put it here. You can create other folders, like for instance, now I have dashboard, server, blah, blah, and all that. Just put it there, and then you can run it. Okay. So if for instance I just say localhost / index PHP, then this is the one that we run, the very first one. That's much about the XAMPP. So for those who want to use XAMPP, you can get more tutorials on how to use that. For my case, I don't want to use XAMPP, so I'm going to stop this so that it does not have a conflict with the WAMP server. Now, for those who may want to use WAMP server for their backend programming, then this is how you go about it. You go to your applications, you go to all applications, and you look for WAMP. You can just type WAMP server. So to check whether your WAMP server is active, then you need to go to this taskbar, and on the icons here you can see it's here. So if it's red or pinkish, then it means that it is not running, and you need to start its services. So if you run your site, it will not function properly. So you come here and you start services. So you click start all services. If you click on it now, you see it has turned green, which means that your server is now active, and so you can be able to run your application. So let's now go back and visit the localhost. So you remember when we are looking at XAMPP, we said that the localhost is at you go to drive C, and then you go for XAMPP. We said you go to XAMPP and then you go to HDocs. That is what we said for XAMPP, and we created our website which we called MikeB. But now for WAMP it's different. Okay, so for WAMP you come to WAMP server, and then you go to www. You see this www, this is your localhost. So for those people who are using WAMP for their server, then the localhost is at the folder www. So you come here and you create your website here. So in my case here, I've chosen to create a folder called Mike. So this is my WAMP, my site. So I click on it, and I can put my index file here, the file that we created earlier with the PHP code. Okay, so if I open it, you can see this is the same file we had put on the other side. So but now we put it on the WAMP side. So what is important for you to note is to know that the localhost for WAMP server is on the www folder. So let's now run our site and see. So remember, so we type localhost. So the other one, the one for XAMPP, we had used MikeB, which is the folder MikeB, and when we run it, you see it's not now working because the server which we were using there was the XAMPP server. But now, if we now use the Mike folder, which is now in the WAMP server, so we say localhost Mike PHP index. If we run this now, if we run this, you see that it's going to run. You can see it is now presenting the PHP. Forgive the noise at the background. This place is a bit rainy, so that's why you're hearing the noise. But you can see the message here which we've put here. So if we could change this, for instance, to something like maybe I can add something on my folder here, and I say try this code, copy. If you could echo this for those who've done PHP. So this is something else we could try. You could say try it yourself, and if we save, we click save, and then we can run this, and you can see what will happen. You see it comes, try it yourself. Okay, so it has added that line. Okay, so it simply continues. So if you want the two lines to be different, probably you could add a break line here. So you put the HTML tag for breaking the rain. We had done this before, so we can save here and we can learn this. You can see, try it yourself. Okay, so if you want to add other tags, for instance, you can make this to be a header. Okay, for instance, you could make this one to be maybe headline 1. You have done these tags in the HTML code. If you've not, then possibly you may need to relook at the HTML tutorial. So if you save this and then you can learn, you can see. Okay, so that is how you run your PHP code from your server. If you're using a WAMP server, then you know where to put your code. If you're using a XAMPP server, then you know where to put your code. And that brings us to today's lesson. Thank you very much. So you may share the video, like and subscribe to my channel. It's just a small gesture to appreciate these tutorials. Thank you.